Hi. All right, we're doing this. Does this help if there's a little bit of light right there? Not sure. So here we are, 7:30. We're doing a one-taker. This is the same day. This is like old school YouTube. Film, edit, upload, same day. Okay, so I figured, kind of had like an epiphany moment here as I was doing the dishes. I thought to myself, well, if I'm kind of like struggling to get my shit together to film videos and edit them, and I expressed in my last video that I've been kind of feeling like I'm in a bit of a fog, and then based on the feedback that I got from people, especially other creators, kind of going, oh my gosh, this happens to me at various times of the year, I figured maybe I would talk to you about what my plan is to get myself in my personal life, like as a person, not just as a YouTuber or Instagrammer or podcast host, but like as a regular person, what steps am I taking to feel better? You know what I mean? Because I think that this kind of mood or these feelings can happen to a lot of us, and it's like, how do we get out of this funk? I would also like to call attention to whatever you see in the background, lunch boxes, like whatever, but also dogs. Oh, honey, that's not yours, leave it. Dogs eating dinner. Hey, you too. It's a struggle. So there are a few things that I'm doing to get myself back on track in terms of like life and scheduling and just all of the things. I feel very, like things are just out of order. They're out of sorts and I'm struggling to get them back in line. And so the few things that I'm doing to kind of help myself are getting back to elements of my routine, in the spring and all of that before summer vacation that kept me happy. So one of those things, which I've been very consistent about even in the summer, is hair. So I just got my hair done today, actually, got it freshened up. Listen, blonde hair, there's a lot of maintenance, especially when you're a natural brunette. So I went and got it toned, got it trimmed, got my roots touched up a bit. So that's something that I do regularly, but that's my version of self-care for like cosmetic stuff. I used to get my nails done, but not at the moment. I'm just kind of keeping them trimmed and cleaned up. Sticking to some sort of self-care routine, I'm realizing is really important for me, but I would imagine for a lot of people. Now that's going to look different for each person. I mean, self-care is just, there's so many different things you can do. Maybe it's reading a book. Maybe it's getting your hair done. Maybe it's getting a manicure, like whatever those things look like for you. And if you haven't done them in a while and maybe you're feeling like I've been feeling, that's something to consider. Another thing which I've been doing and getting so many like good results and I'm feeling really good about it is going on big walks. I love to walk my dogs, and especially since getting Honey, my second dog, she's a bigger dog. She likes to walk far, and there's been this like interesting phenomenon that's been happening where she's almost been like keeping Nora, I don't know, walking faster and like we can walk further distances. It's almost like Nora wants to keep up with Honey. So that's been awesome. And I mean, like, I clear like 15,000 steps almost every single day. Today, of course, I forgot to wear my Fitbit this morning, so I haven't even hit 10,000 and that's driving me nuts. It was charging. But yeah, like we've been going on at least one really long walk a day. I try to make it into the forest, but if not, I take them for a big tour around my house and my neighborhood, which is awesome. And that's something like, I like to check that off my list if I can, like time spent in nature. And it's also a bit of a double whammy because I also love listening to podcasts. And so I'll pop a podcast on and like, it's awesome. Speaking of podcasts, I'll just kind of throw in a few of my favorites right here because I know you guys are always asking for recommendations. So a few that I've been listening to at the moment, not suggesting that these are awesome, they've just been capturing my attention. So I may have mentioned before, but Family Secrets is a great one. I love the concept of secrets, and so I've been really enjoying that. What's another one I've been listening to? Family Secrets, and then Family Ghosts. That's the other one. I knew it had family in there. Family Secrets, Family Ghosts. I listened to Death, Sex, and Money today. It was a really interesting episode about a married couple where it's a hetero type of setup, a male-female, and the male although is very masculine in many ways, likes to present as female, well, not even present as female, wear women's clothing. And it was a really interesting conversation about how they navigated that through like a 50-year marriage. Anyway, so all of that being said, I like to listen to podcasts as I walk. So that's another thing. So what's that? 2 things. So I get out in nature, I invest a little bit of time in myself. This does cost money, but I can justify it because A, I work, and B, I used to get my hair done even when I didn't work because I think I'm worthy of getting a haircut, right? The third thing, which I have been finally working into my schedule, and I'm pretty sure you guys have heard me talk about this a lot, was making time for friendships. I just did not see people pretty much from Christmas onwards, and I'm like, what's happening? And then, of course, summer comes, and it's like I see nobody. And then, oh my gosh, right? So I made some time for some of my non-work friends, and then friends are friends. Friends, big label, and then you've got your little mini groups on the inside. That also consists of family members. So let me tell you what's been happening. So I had like 2 of like mommy girl nights in the summer with my like OG friends I met when I moved to the city I live, which was awesome. I'm going to a concert next week. I'm going to see Lizzo. I'm jacked. So I'm going to see Lizzo next week, which is the second time I'm going to see her. I'm so pumped. And then I'm going to go see one of my favorite podcasts, Criminal. It's going to be live in Toronto. So I'm checking that out with Joanna from Nesting Story. I'm going to a cottage next weekend. I'm so excited. So my aunt Lisa, you saw we went to Montreal together. I will include the video up here. Or up here, wherever the link is, the eye. And she has a cottage and of course she has my 2 children, my cousins, which are really close in age to Jack and Esme. So we're gonna go up there. Dean has to work, and it's gonna be awesome. So I'm super pumped to do that. And it's those little things, right? Oh, I had my brother and his family and my sister and her partner out here for like an end of summer bash. And so that's been something that's like on my list, to spend time with people that I care about, and I'm making it a priority. The trouble though, with a lot of these things, I just have to throw in there, is I have to be realistic with my expectations. So perhaps this is the 4th thing. Being realistic about what my output can be as a regular person. So there are times where it's a really busy season, like as in income, right? So I think I was mentioning this either on the podcast or in the last video, but pretty much at the change of seasons is when a lot of brands want to work with content creators, and it's awesome. It's just that it tends to be a little bit of a bottleneck. So it's harder to put out content in a timely manner. So that might be the most difficult thing for me to work on, because naturally work is important, income is important. It's a tough nut to crack in terms of like prioritizing life things, prioritizing work things, making sure that I follow through on commitments to you guys. So I'm working through what is my realistic output and what that's gonna look like. Is it 1 video a week? Is it 2? I don't know, you know what I mean? So I just kind of have to like get myself sorted. Also, generally speaking, as one creates content, I usually have like videos before they're due. Do you know what I mean? So if I'm saying Monday and Thursdays on YouTube, I usually have a video like the week before ready for this week. So I'm a little behind. So that's something I'm kind of, coming to terms with and trying to figure out, which I think is important to do, right? Like sometimes you have to rejig things and figure out what the new norm looks like. How many was that? 4? Is there anything else? Something that's on my list that I just have to make sure it happens is spending more time with my partner. So Dean and I naturally have both had a busy summer, and he especially is having a lot of busy work stuff. He was, as a pilot, you go through these training sessions, and so he was away for a bit training on a new aircraft, and so his schedule is switched up. Don't need to go into all the details, but just to say it's like a bit of a change for him too. And I feel like we haven't had much time to like go on day dates and like have the fun that we like to have and just be playful. So I'm thinking that that's looking like I might actually need to book a little weekend away. And I'm realizing this is really important because quite frankly, we have never taken a weekend away since ever, like since Esme was born. That's kind of intense because we've both been away independently, but never the 2 of us away on purpose together. we need to make this happen. So Patra is away, my savior of life, my godsend, my child care provider, my therapist. She covers many roles in my life, and she's been gone, and I miss her terribly. And we text like every day. In fact, last night I was like, I pretty much talk to you or talk about you to everyone because I'm really missing you. And it's like, we've gone through gaps before where she's been away or I've been away, or, you know, but this is a long time. And she is an integral part of my life, so she needs to come home. But yeah, those are 5 things that are on my list. Oh, and the last one, the bonus one. So here I was last night sitting with my dad, and I was telling him that I feel super cloudy, like super foggy. Like I feel like the fog is like trying to like suck me in. I will say there are like people in my family that have struggled with depression and various forms of that. And so I'm always like hyper aware of my mood and how I'm feeling. Dog eating, PS. But because I'm really aware of it, the second there's like a shift, I'm like, oh my God, how do I fix this? And so I'm kind of like, well, you know, what do I do about this? Like, what is off? What is making me feel a little bit out of sorts and a little bit foggy? And he's like, well, what haven't you done in like 2.5 months? So through all of summer, what didn't I do, guys? Anybody? Anyone in the back? I haven't worked out, man. I haven't worked out all summer. Why? Because my main excuse is like, I seriously had nobody to watch the kids. That's what I feel like. I feel like I just couldn't get away. There was summer camp, but then when the kids were in summer camp, I was working. And so I made a conscious decision to just leave the exercise until back to school. So here we are. I need to get my butt back to the gym. I also noticed my clothes are fitting a little snug, and I don't play with that situation. So today I went out and bought new pants that feel a hell of a lot better, and I feel fine. I look in the mirror and I'm still like, queen. I ain't nothing different really. It's a little thicker in some parts, but it's winter. We bulk up in Canada. Get thick quick kind of thing for fall. But I'm realizing that it's about this. When I go to the gym, when I leave my house on purpose to go to something for me, it falls into so many categories. Are you good, baby girl? It's like health and fitness, mental health, exercise, endorphins, getting that like when you just have like a full-on body sweat and you feel amazing. So I'm realizing that we need to do this. And so if you are also in the same boat, leave me some comments below. Maybe we can motivate each other. We should come up with a hashtag or something and then start this thing on Instagram where it's not about like needing to have good abs. It's about having a clear mind, having like, you know, feeling fresh and light. So that's my little update. Those are a few things, 5 plus a bonus. Oh my God, what's happening? Sorry, hairball. Are you good, baby girl? Anyway, the dog's having trouble eating her dinner. I will end it here. So thank you so much for watching. Subscribe if you're new. There will be videos next week, promise. Okay, I'll talk to you guys later. Bye.